Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Bella. I'm a part-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark. I have my what solds. Yesterday, the post office was closed. I have 7 sales between Monday and today, Wednesday. So happy to get everything out. As you can see, we have Pooh Bear. He is going. So I talked a little bit about Pooh Bear on my Facebook page. I do occasionally sell things that are not clothing items. So this is one of them. I picked him up over the summer at a church thrift haul. He only cost me $1. So we'll get into everything. We'll get him going here, and finding him a box has been very not fun, but anywho. Okay, we'll start off with him. This is our one and only Poshmark sale, Pooh Bear, Christmas Bear. He sold on Poshmark for $27. My estimated profit, I had about $1 into him, $20. So I looked high and low because he is, 3 inches tall, maybe a little more than that. I don't know. He's kind of tall. He's up there. So it took me a little while to find him a box, but he's on his way out the door. My kids are excited. He's on the way out the door. They were like, when is he going to sell? And I said, this was just last week. I think it was my son that actually said it. He's like, when is that going to sell? And I said, it's going to sell soon. And I was right. It's colder out. It's snowing now. People, it was soon as Halloween was over, Pooh Bear sold. So he's on his way out the door. And what I would say is, if you can get, I love picking up Disney stuff that comes, authentic Disney stuff, the Disney park stuff, the Disney ornaments and things like that. I have a friend that, she is a Disney, I believe, Vacation Club member. Her father has had a place down at the Polynesian for years and years and years. And she consigned a few things with me. And each year they get offered these very unique ornaments that are only offered to certain Disney, plus I believe it's just like the Disney members that have the Vacation Club, something like that. So it is a unique amount of items that they get access to first if they want to buy it. And so her father, she has 4 siblings. Her father buys the family each year all of these quick Christmas ornaments. They're very cute, nice, but she's just, over the years, she's acquired so much stuff that she had me sell some of it. This is not one of those items. I'm just saying, like, if you do come across like the Disney ornaments in a box, things like that, those are usually unique items worth looking up. They will say like Disney parks or something on the back, so you know that those are actual Disney items. So there is a lot of like collabs and even some fake items out there. So Google Lens is your friend. Google it, look on eBay, and yeah, I was kind of surprised he sold on Poshmark, but that's just another thing to say. Cross-list everything, because you never know what's going to sell on each platform. People think Poshmark, they automatically think, clothing and stuff, but that is not always the case. And Winnie the Pooh is out the door today. So keep an eye out for stuff like that. That's a pickup that I don't typically get. It's kind of, it takes up a lot of space. Like I said, I had, to find a box for Pooh, and it took a little bit of time because he's big, but I found something. So he's going to be off today to the buyer, who will get to enjoy it all season long. Okay. The great news about that came from a church sale. Everything came from the bins primarily. That is going out the door, and it's all sold within, like, I picked all of this stuff up within the last month. So, hey, shout out to the person on my Facebook page, Hyper Focus Thrift. She told me I should keep, or maybe it was on YouTube. No, maybe it was YouTube. I should keep the Lululemon jacket that I talked about yesterday in my trash haul, that all the items were going to the bin. So as of right now, I am keeping this Lululemon sweatshirt. But that is what's great about reselling. When I am done with it, it could go on to the platforms and get sold. So, okay, Land's End is definitely a bread and butter brand for me. This is a Land's End cardigan. It's a little wrinkly. I'm gonna do a little bit of, gonna run it through the, you know, what is this, like roller to get, you know, any extra hair or anything off of it. So this one was picked up within the last 2 weeks. I'm trying to pick up sweaters and stuff like that. You guys know I like to get, you know, larger sizes. This is a medium, and with all of that stuff that I got yesterday, or that was heading to the trash bin that someone I know was throwing out, basically I'm trying a lot of small stuff to see. There was not very many, anything. I think there was 1 or 2 items that were in a medium, but everything else was small or extra small. So there's a lot of different items in there in the smaller sizes, which I typically say I don't pick up. But my mom, who just said, you know, list it, get it listed. And there were so many good brands because it has been a while since I've gotten a number of small items. So I am excited about those items, you know, getting listed and shipping out the door. So if you didn't see that video, check it out. I did just post it last night. So this Land's End cardigan sold for $15 after shipping, cost of goods. Everything is an estimate, and I will give a total at the end of what everything cost me and what my profit was. This profit on this item, $13. So very happy with that going out the door, and I didn't have it very long. So those are all things we like. And like I said, Land's End, definitely a bread and butter brand for me, like Eddie Bauer is, and what else? LL Bean, flannel sweaters, all the things. And I sold like 3 pairs of jeans. And so if you've been following me for a while, I talk about how I'm not crazy about picking up jeans, but maybe I need to be again because jeans are selling. And I don't know really why. Maybe I was picking up the wrong jeans before. Now that I'm focusing on getting some jeans at the bins, because 2 out of 3 of these pairs of jeans that I got are from the bins. So honestly, I'm just, you know, you got to go with the trends, and I'm seeing where the trends are going, and it is jeans. So I think it all just matters. Like when I first started out, like anybody that's starting out reselling, you know, you get excited, you pick up things, you're like, oh, I like that brand, or I like this, but that doesn't necessarily mean like it's a popular reselling brand or it's going to sell good or for a good profit. So just, you know, I always like to go back and explore brands, explore even like jeans, like something that I would stay away from before. And definitely if you're going to the bins, the jeans, that's the best deal typically, unless yard sale or church sale, you're gonna get on jeans, because thrift stores, Salvation Army, regular Goodwills, they're marking up jeans and those, you know, because they know they can get that higher dollar profit for these good brands. So that is the place, honestly, right now to be getting jeans. So especially because there's not going to be a lot of yard sales right now unless you're in the warmer states. So, okay, these are fun. These are Beans Shearling insoles, LL Bean. I'm always saying things wrong. You guys know that though. You still watch my videos, which I appreciate. So this was exciting. These are brand new in the package. I just picked these up last week at my bins trip. So they had a lot of watchers right off the bat, and I do coupons and promotions on my eBay. So these sold last night. I was very excited. I knew that these would sell quickly after I did a quick comp at the store. So anything LL Bean new with tags is definitely worth, even if you're not typically picking up LL Bean stuff is great, and especially new in package. And these are like boots, like to keep it warm, you know, warm in the boots. I guess you can take out your older pair and try these ones. So, and then it even had the like regular packaging bag with it. So these sold on eBay for $20.25. They did use a coupon. So my estimated profit, these don't even weigh a pound, $13.75. These are heading out today. Again, usually I like to pick up most LL Bean when I find it, like I said, but you know, something that's still like in the package pretty much. Somebody obviously just donated these, they never used them. And you know, these retail for $25 and they sold for $20.25. So didn't cost me much because I got them from the bins. And I love, love, love putting new with tag items in my store. And that can also be like a variety of items, like I've mentioned, like items from Kohl's, JCPenney's. If it is new with tags and, you know, more than light, if it's a lightweight item, I've picked up Lauren Conrad, what is it? Crown and Ivory. I know that they have stuff like Apartment 9, which is something I think Kohl's sells and I typically don't pick up, but even like basic tops that are new with tags, they do sell good. So, and this is a great time of year right now to be picking up those items because, you know, we're going into the holidays. People are going to be looking for holiday items, whether for their friends or family or for themselves. I mean, everybody's always shopping for themselves too, right? Okay. It doesn't just have to be for gifts. It could be for self as well. Okay. This either came from last week when I went to the bins or 2 weeks ago. This is Talbot's. This is just like an overcoat, nice size. This is an extra large, I believe. Yeah, just really cute, great condition. I love Talbot coats, blazers, I don't know, this is like, it's like a sweater cardigan, but it's not exactly sweater material. So this, I got an offer for this for $18 and this was another eBay sale. My estimated profit, $14.47. So great. You guys know Talbot's is my jam. I would say I pick up a lot of Talbots. We all know that. I have slowed down a bit. I'm becoming a bit more picky at the Goodwill bins when I find it. This was one that I was like, yes, definitely. Because even their blazers, I love getting their blazers. They sell quick. You know, their jackets, their pea coats, you know, a lot of the coats are the things at the bins that weigh a lot, but if you come across, you know, a good brand with jackets, like at the bins that I go to, I just recently found a few jackets, but I had not been finding a lot of jackets. I just think that that is an item that either people pick up quickly or the ones that I would find were like dirty. So honestly, just keep an eye out there. And yeah, like you know, in the summer, maybe at the bins, I wouldn't pick up like, unless it was really great quality jackets, because they can get expensive. You know, you get a nice long jacket, it could be 3-4 pounds, you know, so it's all in what you can find for sure. But I've been lucky these past couple of times that I've gone, I've found quite a few jackets. And the turnaround is good for jackets right now, obviously, if you're picking up, you know, ones that are desired. So I had a North Face one I recently showed you guys. That was awesome. But, you know, it goes back to the whole, I don't pick up everything North Face. I don't pick up everything Talbot. You know, don't get in the mindset, I would say, of like, oh, I need to pick up everything in this brand. You know, there's certain things, certain qualities I look for, like that down jacket. The North Face jacket was a down jacket. So obviously, like that's something people are going to be looking for right now, but not all North Face is the same or sells the same. So I've really noticed that happening over the past couple of years. You know, there was a time that if I found North Face, it was like finding Patagonia or, you know, Lilly Pulitzer, something really pricey. But now I'm a lot more selective about what I'm picking up. I probably like basic sweatshirts in North Face. I probably would not pick it up unless it was like a rare print or something. So again, that's all really nice, easy to research, and you know, just take the phone out, look it up and find it. And I've talked about it before, but the North Face right now has a really good program where you can trade in older clothing for gift cards for new items for them. So that is awesome. I don't know how long that's going on. I have heard that maybe it's ending at the end of 2025, but you know, just keep an eye on that. Maybe you're really close to a North Face and a Bins, and so you can kind of collect a little bit of the North Face items and then go and either get somebody for Christmas or something like that, or yourself a gift, or of course, if you're thinking in the reselling mindset, I know Ginger Marvin has been doing that. She's been grabbing jackets, coats, boots, even teaching her son all about selling on eBay and, you know, flipping those for a really great profit. So that is an awesome way to get new stuff, especially if you have kids. Oh my gosh, they grow out of clothes so quickly. Like, I got lucky this year. Both of my children fit into their jackets from last year. I don't know how I got that lucky. I hopefully that'll last for, you know, the whole season, but it probably won't. I'm sure maybe I'll need to get them something else, but I'll find it at the Bins. Hopefully. Okay, these were also a pickup, these were last week. Rock Revival, you know, this is a pretty well-known brand. I think I've maybe found it twice ever reselling. I think it's just picked up really quickly. Look at the back on these, really cute. These are skinny jeans, they're Burrell. I was nervous about the size. So they were 26 is the size. Wasn't sure on this, but the comps showed that, you know, this is a good brand. I'm doing a little lint rolling while we chat. So, you know, this was luck for me to get this. This was right on the top of like a new bin. So I think some of the, you know, seasoned Bins goers missed these. They were in excellent shape. And now, like I said, I think over the years I had a pair of shorts from Rock Revival. And then I also had, I'm just noticing something that I need to like wipe off of these. I don't know, something got on it there, but they're fine. I don't come across them, especially like locally. I feel like even at my Salvation Army would probably put a $15 price tag on these, and I would never get them for that. These are about £1, so it cost me like $1.79. And I was excited to wake up to this sale this morning. It's been really fun going to the Bins and finding brands that I just can't find around here, and highly recommend. You know, if you're heading out of town, and even if you're like me and you don't have a Bins very close, you know, fit that Bins trip into, especially if you're driving, because you could just put it all in your car, right? You know, or even like a one night stay also, and you know, if it's just a little bit away, I see people do that all the time, like just stay overnight. And you know, I'm usually capped out at about 4 hours at the Bins, but that's not to say I would go back the next day for sure. You know, get some lunch, dinner, head to a hotel, and go back, you know, and do another trip and head home if that works out. I love that idea. I think, you know, once my kids are a little bit older, I would totally consider doing that. It's kind of hard right now. They are 11, so it's kind of hard. They've got all these things going on, and they need me and my husband to drive them here, there, everywhere. You know, I said, you know what would be a good idea is Uber for kids, even though I don't know why, but like, just like, so kids could call for their own Uber. That might actually be a thing, but it's just, you guys know, if you have kids and they are into anything where they have to be here, there, like I have my daughter in her choir performance, and then she also she's in a musical right now. My son does soccer, he just got done with football, so you know, there's practices, rehearsals, all the things. So Uber for kids, you know, I don't know, I probably wouldn't use Uber for kids for my kids either, I don't know, but you know, just something to help parents out here and there. It's a good idea. That's why I love working from home. I can take them here, there, everywhere. Okay, so these Rock Revival jeans, again, this was a pickup last week, so if you come across these jeans, I wouldn't be super apprehensive about a smaller size. I think these jeans are just very popular and very expensive. These sold for $33. My estimated profit, $27.32. Again, like my actual, like, you know, profit off of the items I'm picking up there is better than what I'm getting local to me, because we don't have, you know, these are items that I don't that I'm paying less for and are better actual items from, you know, the bins. So definitely, I don't work for Google. I don't work for the Goodwill. I never have. I probably never will. But, you know, it's just when people are talking about starting this business, if you've worked your way through your entire house and you're looking for inventory now and you don't want to put a lot of money out, the bins, definitely. So that was a good pickup. Happy those are out the door. Okay, next up, these Nicole Miller Soho high-rise kick boot jeans, brand new with tags. This was a yard sale in June. I got these from. There were a bunch of like Nicole Miller, a lot of stuff that was sold at Marshall's. They all had their tags. This is one of the last pair. There was also Anne Klein tags. So it was about the end of the sale. This stuff had been out all day long. These are size 16, so it's a great size. And so it was like 10, 11, or it was 11:30, 12, and, or I'm sorry, yeah, or it was later. So I was happy to find these at the sale with probably 5 or 6 other pairs of pants, all new with tags. And so when I find something that has a Marshall tags as well on it, this might be obvious, it might not. I typically just cut the Marshall tag off and just leave, you know, the other tags on here. These are $99 retail jeans that I got for $2. So this might be my last pair of Nicole Miller jeans, or maybe one more pair, but I ended up with a lot at this sale. Got a lot for a little. So they sold for $25. My estimated profit, $21.23. Very happy with that. They've just been slowly moving their way out of my store. They've just been selling really well. And Anne Klein as well. That was a brand that I was like, are these gonna sell? Should I pick it up? And they also have been selling really well. They are new with tags, so that was kind of, you know, some brands that I maybe wouldn't pick up pre-owned. Some of the brands that, you know, like this Nicole Miller, I maybe would have been on the fence about it. Maybe not for the jeans now, since jeans are, you know, kind of selling a lot better now. But I don't know. I was very happy to grab these. I couldn't believe at that time of day, nobody that came to this very busy yard sale wanted these jeans. Like, really? So again, you know, even if you're late to the game or the yard sale, or you're late to the rummage sale or whatever, you know, they say early bird gets the worm, but hey, you know, even later in the day, you can still get that worm. So I told you, profit $21.23. Did I say that? They sold for $25, profit $21.23. I might have said that. They cost me $2. ADHD. Sometimes I get to talking and I'm like, okay, did I say that? Did I not say that? There's no rhyme or reason to me, I guess. Okay, this is the last item. Why do all these brands have to, I want to say it's Laneige, but I feel like that's a makeup brand. So I'll just show you the brand. There it is. So this was a brand that I did not know about. I think I've seen it at some point, but it slipped my memory bank. And so I did a quick lens search and I liked what I saw. These are size 28. I could not find the like style code to these anywhere in the jeans. I'm just thankful. I'm like, oh, well, at least the size is in there and all the tags are there. They're kind of like, they almost look leather. They are not. They're like a shiny jean coat to it. And again, these I also picked up last week. So this is a good brand to remember. You're gonna have to look at the computer screen if you're just listening while you list, because, okay, I just can't, I don't know. Legenics? I don't know. Look at them though. I just thought these would be cute for the holidays, and you know, I liked what I saw. They literally look like somebody took the tag off of them and maybe tried them on, maybe threw them back in their closet and they were like, I'm not wearing these. So whatever the reason, I am happy that I grabbed these. So they sold for $25, only took a week from the bins. We love it. So my estimated profit, $21.93. Great, great, great. Very happy with that. So these will be heading out today as well. Now the post office is open today and I will get it all out. So what you want to know is for those 7 items, what did I pay versus what did I make? So all of those items cost me a total of $11.47, and I estimate my total after fees, cost of goods, all the fun stuff, or not so fun stuff, $131.68. So I'm very happy with that. A lot of these, more than half of these were super quick flips. So they're gonna be heading out today to all the happy buyers. And yeah, that's everything from today. Sorry I missed you guys on Monday with a what sold video, but we got it here on Wednesday. Everything's heading out the door. So thanks for hanging out with me. If you like videos like this, I put about 2 to 5 videos out every week, all about what's selling on eBay and Poshmark, what I'm picking up at the Goodwill bins, the local thrift stores, church sales, yard sales, all the sales, wherever I can find the stuff, I am there. And if you like videos like this, share this with a friend, because thrifting is better with friends. And I will see you friends all in the next video. Bye-bye.